Hi, my name is Craig Haldane. I'm currently the golf course superintendent at Emirates Golf Club in Dubai. My career background, I started in 1996 at Fancourt Hotel and Country Club Estate in George, South Africa, which is my hometown, incidentally. I worked there for a period of about 4 years, moved up from irrigation and chemical technician to assistant superintendent, and then landed up working on the Links at Fancourt project as a growing superintendent, where I met the Gary Player group and was asked to move across to Indonesia with them for a assistant superintendent position. And that eventually culminated in me moving to the Middle East in 2001, where I was the superintendent, well, assistant at River Golf Club in Bahrain for 2 years, and moved into the superintendent role for another 3 years. And I was then seconded by Dubai Golf, who I now work for, to come to Dubai and work for Dubai Golf. And I've been here for 11 years now. Probably timing of when to press the go button, because I often get asked the question, what's the big difference between maintaining the golf course usually and then for the pro? It's just frequency of cut, detail, and then you do stress the golf course out for that 2 week period, the week leading into and the week of. And if you press the go button too soon and push things too hard, by the time 200 week is here, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. So by Monday, which is the first practice round, you need the golf course to be where it's going to be for the rest of the week. And then the toughest job is maintaining that for the next 6 days, especially green speeds, and not varying too much, because they need to experience what they're going to have for the week on Monday. And as you know, things will dry out through the week, and you don't want the greens to get away from you in terms of firmness and speed. So yeah, managing that week is challenging. The Leading Edge is a series that Jacobsen put together to bring together the different sides of the business in terms of what we do as agronomists and the club managers do as managing the clubs. So it's an opportunity for me to take my club manager along to an event where there are other like-minded individuals, club managers and superintendents, to really, in a more social environment, talk about what we do in the industry and network. So it's an opportunity to play some golf, share some ideas from and resources in particular. What do we do that you don't do, or what can I learn from you? So it's been a really, really successful event in my opinion, and we've been going on, I think, to our 4th year now. We were asked to be patrons of the event along with PGA Catalonia, more recently Le National in France, and of course Castle Stewart up in Scotland. Yes and no. So I think the answer to that really is we maintain the equipment very much to the manufacturer's recommendations. The schedule is a lot closer because of the frequency of how many hours the machines put on in this part of the world. Thing that's very different to maybe the UK in particular, or Europe to us, is the climate here is 365, 24/7. So we're mowing fairways often, 6 to 7 days a week, greens, of course, tees. So the equipment is getting used a lot. So for that reason, I've got a really good team here. Donald Mulvey is my equipment manager, and he does a great job in making sure that the equipment is maintained to a really high standard. The rough is up this year in particular. It's pretty thick, and the fairways, we are aiming to get them a lot firmer than we have in the past, which will put an onus on them selecting the right club off the tee. All the tournaments around the world nowadays is going to put an onus on hitting the short grass areas, so you can reward the better players. The greens are firm, so if you're coming out of the rough with anything, it's not going to really hold on the green. If you're coming out of the fairway, the players are going to have the ability to control the spin on the ball, which is a skill which you want to showcase. So that's probably no adjustment. These guys are so good. It's become very much a numbers game now. They know exactly how far to hit it to get past a certain point, or to hit it a certain distance, to release a certain way. They're professionals. That's their job. So no major adjustments, but I think maybe, hopefully off the tees, think twice before hitting driver. The Clips Mowers gives me the ability to control cutting yields and clipping rates to the nth degree. So the quality of cut is phenomenal. We did a lot of tests with various equipment prior to making the decision to go with the Eclipse modes. We hand mow greens, by the way. So for me, I could physically see what a single cut did compared to a single cut on other equipment, and for us, the decision was very easy. We use on average between 500,000 gallons of water per day on the property. So I've got 45 holes of golf here, up to 1.5 million in the middle of summertime. So 360 million US gallons a year to irrigate the property. No, I don't roll fairways. I've done a lot of research on it, it's particularly on cool season grasses, and I know a lot of the guys in the States, Emirates Golf Club in particular, Mr. Shaver there had a great success with disease control and rolling fairways. So suppression of dollar spot in particular with rolling of fairways is a known fact. We have rolled fairways. I've actually used a 1.5 ton roller before on my fairways to help with firmness many years ago, to be fair. But no, we don't roll fairways at all. End of October is when we overseed the Bermuda grass golf course to ryegrass. It becomes a cool season grass, and that's really when it all kicks off. We've got 4 weeks from putting the seed down to hosting the Dubai Ladies Classic, which is a challenge in itself, to get the ryegrass up and presentable, and then another 4 to 5 weeks before the Dubai Desert Classic arrives. So you start pretty much end of October, early November, and grow the ryegrass in, and then do final presentation, detailed lines, you know, getting it fine-tuned probably 3 weeks leading into the event. We go out to the desert quite a lot. I'll go and have a braai out in the desert with my family and friends. Try and get away from here and get out in the desert. It's peaceful, there's no light pollution, it's very relaxing. I do enjoy exercising, so you know, get out for a run and whatever you, and keep fit. Pretty much, yeah. We keep it very basic. Have people around the house and just chill out. Shawshank Redemption is a great movie, an older one for people my age. Dogs. Honestly, I don't have a favorite. I love listening to all kinds of music. As long as there's a good melody and it puts me in a good mood, I'm up for it. People that are dishonest. It's an easy one, steak and chips. It's a long way away, but we've been to Australia with the family, and it's a great destination. I've been there twice now. It reminds me a lot of home as well, so I like Australia. I wanted to be in entertainment. I wanted to probably do musicals. I was very into my music and musicals and theatre when I was a kid, so that was probably one of the things I wanted to do. Probably wasn't quite good enough. This is easy with my wife, Anisha. We've been married 10 years in April, and other than my dad and my mom, obviously, but the woman who inspires me most is my wife. A superintendent that I worked with very first, his name's Greg Leckie. He said to me, leave your footprints in the lands.
which basically means get out there and see, smell, feel, be on course. That's the best way to manage a property, and I believe that to this day. Roger Federer, he's a family man. He's come back at a slightly older age and performed phenomenally well. I've never had the pleasure to meet him. He's been around here many times and played, and whoever I've spoken to who has had the opportunity to meet him never has a bad word to say about him, and I think he's a great sports person. And I'm done. Thanks very much.